You open the dishwasher door fully expecting everything to be sparkling clean and bone dry, but instead, soaking wet glasses and plates covered in water droplets. Having to stand there and hand dry everything with a kitchen towel is incredibly frustrating, right? I totally get it. Well, let's dive right into this explainer and completely eliminate this annoying problem today with some incredibly practical fixes you can use right now. You're probably thinking, the full cycle finished, the machine ran for hours, so why on earth are my dishes still wet? The beep goes off, you open the door, and it's literally like a rainforest in there. Spotted glasses, stubborn plastic containers that just won't dry. Did all that effort just go to waste? Let's figure out exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Section 1, the science of wet dishes. Why it actually happens. Getting a handle on the basic science here is going to give you that amazing, now I understand moment. Meet public enemy number 1, condensation. When your cycle finishes, the inside of the machine is absolutely packed with hot, trapped steam. Now, a lot of us run the wash at night and leave the door shut until morning, right? But if you leave it closed for hours on end, that hot steam gets trapped. As the temperature drops overnight, the steam turns right back into water droplets, basically raining all over your clean dishes. That's exactly why you shouldn't just leave them sitting in a sealed, airless machine. Now, here's a really fascinating detail. Have you ever noticed that your plastic containers are always, without fail, the wettest things in the load? It all comes down to physics. Glass and ceramic items absorb the high heat during the wash and hold onto it like a battery. That stored heat helps the water evaporate right off them. Plastics, on the other hand, lose heat incredibly fast. Because they cool down so quickly, water just clings to the surface and can't evaporate. So if your Tupperware is still wet, your machine isn't broken at all. It's just science doing its thing. Section 2, the quick fixes, step-by-step solutions. Now that we know what's causing the rainstorm in there, let's jump into the really exciting part. The foolproof, actionable steps to guarantee perfectly dry dishes. This first hack is an absolute game changer, and it's so unbelievably simple. It's the towel trick. The second your cycle ends, right before that condensation rain starts, just open the door slightly, drape a clean, dry towel over the top of the door, and then close the door back up, trapping the towel inside. That's it. That towel acts like a giant sponge, rapidly absorbing all that internal moisture before it can turn into water and drip back down. The result? Bone dry dishes. Next up, let's talk about heat. Lots of us use those short 30-minute eco cycles to save time and energy. But those cycles simply do not get hot enough to trigger proper evaporation. For your dishes to actually dry, the machine and the items inside need to reach a seriously high temperature. So whatever brand you own, dial it up to the highest heat setting, like 70 degrees Celsius. That intense heat ensures the water flashes right off your plates and drains away instantly. Okay, let's talk about the secret weapon, Rinse-Aid. It's the unsung hero of drying because it breaks the surface tension of water, making it sheet off your dishes instead of clinging to them. Here is exactly how to set it up. Find that little dial inside the Rinse-Aid dispenser on the door. If you use 3-in-1 tablets, set it to 1 since the tablet already has Rinse-Aid built in. But if you use separate detergent, salt, and Rinse-Aid, you want to bump that dial up to 3. Still getting wet dishes? Try cranking it up to 5. This one tiny adjustment makes a massive difference. Section 3, prevention tips. Stop doing this now. We've got the fixes down, so let's shift gears to some essential maintenance habits, plus a major warning about a viral internet hack that you need to avoid at all costs. To keep your machine running and drying at peak performance, you've got to maintain it. Here's a quick checklist for you. First, clean that bottom filter after every single wash. A clogged filter traps water and leaves the inside damp. Second, pop off the spray propellers every 5 washes and clean the little holes. If they're blocked, the machine can't heat or rinse properly. Third, always invest in high-quality detergent. And finally, once a month, run the machine totally empty on high heat using an approved machine cleaner. A clean machine absolutely equals dry dishes. Now, please listen closely because this is absolutely crucial. You've probably seen those DIY videos everywhere telling you to pour baking soda and vinegar into your machine to clean it naturally. Do not do this. These unapproved DIY chemical mixtures are actually destroying appliances. We found a real-world horror story in our sources that perfectly highlights why. A customer tried to clean their machine naturally by mixing baking soda, citric acid, and hot water. Well, that uncontrolled acidic mixture literally melted the delicate waterproof seals inside, completely destroying the main pump motor. They were left with a completely ruined machine and a massive, expensive repair bill. Seriously, for the sake of your wallet, stick to the manufacturer-approved cleaners. Section 4, bonus tip, the counterintuitive secret. Thanks so much for sticking around. While digging through the sources, we uncovered a mind-blowing secret that most of us get completely wrong, and it might just be the very thing ruining your drying cycle. Okay, so older dishwashers had these massive exposed heating coils right at the bottom. Modern machines don't have those anymore. Instead, they rely entirely on something called a turbidity sensor. This is a brilliant smart sensor that uses optical readers to look at exactly how dirty the water is, and it automatically adjusts the cycle's wash time and temperature based entirely on that reading. So here's the huge aha moment. The secret to dry dishes? Leave them dirty. If you scrub your plates spotless in the sink before loading them, the machine pulls in the water, the sensor takes a look and thinks, wow, this water's super clean. I guess there aren't any dirty dishes in here. Because of that, it drops the temperature and drastically shortens the wash time. Without that high heat, evaporation simply doesn't happen, and you get stuck with wet dishes. Seriously, stop pre-washing. Let the sensor see the grime so it blasts the heat and gives you the perfectly dry dishes you want. It's so cool how understanding the actual mechanics of our appliances can solve these everyday headaches, isn't it? With this explainer, you are fully equipped to banish wet dishes for good. If you found these quick, practical tips helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. In our next explainer, we'll be tackling another massive household annoyance: why your washing machine smells bad and how to permanently fix it. You won't want to miss it. See you next time.